Hello, and thank you for joining me. And this story is called Trilogy's Aftermath. So if you haven't seen Trilogy of Soul, go watch that before you come over here. This trilogy's aftermath has 6 parts. So you could be on part one, part two, part three, part four, or five, six. It depends because this is going to be the same video you're going to see every time you open it. So if you're feeling my vibe, please like and subscribe and enjoy my video show. See you on the other side. Bye. Chapter 1, February 1990.
And the winner for Album of the Year 1989 is CeeCee Right!
The announcer said. The crowd cheered. Her sophomore album, The Journey Continues, one of her songs played as she headed up to the stage and accepted her third Grammy that night. 2 of her songs from that album had also won. I would like to. Good evening, everyone. I would first like to thank God. I thank Preston Records, my friends, Nell, Nikki, and Tawanda for your support. I thank my mother because my mother supported me in whatever I did. Her mother, although having so many issues for the most part, supported her. While CeeCee spoke, she did not notice a white man in his early 50s near the rear of the auditorium. The man's eyes went downcast when CeeCee spoke of her mother. Once the ceremony was over, Jason, CeeCee's security, escorted her to her car. She heard an unfamiliar voice calling her name.
Cecilia! Cecilia! Cecilia!
Miss Wright, that gentleman over there is calling you. Get in the car. He ordered, not knowing who that man was or what his intentions were. But CeeCee vaguely recognized him, although it was dark outside. But the parking lot behind the fence was well lit up. The man stood just outside the fence with other fans. Instead of getting into the vehicle, CeeCee stopped and stared at the man. As her recognition of him grew, so did her anger.
Cecilia! Cecilia!
He called again. Security for the arena told the guy to move on, but curiosity got the best of her. She at least wanted to know what he was doing there. No, I know who he is, Jason. Let him through. Are you sure, Miss Wright? Yes, I'm sure. Let him in. Jason signaled arena security to allow the man in. CeeCee watched as the man strode in her direction. He was well attired, wearing a dark suit. His reddish-brown hair was neatly cut. She could see he had done well for himself.
Oh, Cecilia, look at you.
He spread his arms as if he wanted to hug her, but she did not move.
I'm so proud of you. I know your mother would be too.
She stared at him, wondering why. He acted as if he had not been around in 23 years. What do you want, Patrick? He was a little taken aback. The last time she had seen him, she called him Daddy.
I came here with a friend of mine who invited me.
She looked beyond him, wondering where this friend was. Then she said, Okay.
I've been wanting to touch base with you. We've lost so much time, Cecilia.
What do you want, Patrick?
Well, it would be nice if we reunite.
She raised an eyebrow. Reunite? Really? You haven't been in my life in 23 years, since I was 4. Oh, that's right. My ghetto mother did not fit into your white world in Northern Virginia suburbs back then, did she?
Well, Cecilia, that is not true.
Oh, yes, it is true.
Cecilia, Whatever your mother
You
has
think I
told you.
cannot figure out things on my own? My mother died in a car accident. You were not at her funeral. Oh, that's right. You did not want to risk the media catching you in their camera lens. And what about me? My mother struggled to get me through school. She did what she could. Everyone in the neighborhood knew I was the bastard child of a white man who was just out to taste a little chocolate, and once he got his fill, he hightailed it back to the big house on the plantation. No thanks, Patrick. I don't think we'll be getting to know each other. CeeCee was born in 1963 and grew up during a time when being biracial was frowned upon, especially having a black mother and a white father. She had been ridiculed because of her complexion and heard whispers of the women in the neighborhood saying, "You know her daddy was a white man." She had never felt she fit in until she embraced her talent in singing.
Well, can you find it in your heart to forgive me? I made some very bad mistakes that I wish I hadn't made.
Patrick, I have moved on.
She was about to get into the car, but he said something else. Before you leave, can I just show you something?
What do you want to show me?
She was almost amused by his boldness. He reached into his back pocket, pulled out his wallet, and opened it. 2 pictures of teen white girls were displayed. I just wanted to at least let you know that you have 2 younger sisters. This is Allie, she's 17, and the younger one is Kelly, she's 15.
Congratulations, Patrick.
With that, she stepped into the vehicle. Jason shut the door, got behind the wheel, and pulled off, leaving him standing there. She did not even look back. Are you okay, Miss Wright?
Yes, I am. Please take me home, Jason.
Chapter 2. Nell was in the studio listening to a sample of some music he wanted to record when CeeCee came into the room. Hey, C-Note. What's up, girl? What's going on? They embraced.
Nothing much. Just wanted to know if you'll get on this track with me.
She had written a song titled A Day in the Life. This would be the 4th collab she would have done with him since they disbanded as Trilogy of Soul. Their other group member, Nokie, was no longer in the industry. The fans loved when the 2 of them collabed. Oh man, I wish I could see but I'm already running behind on my album.
Why is that?
She asked, hoping that he wasn't back out there in the street game. DC was not a place to be out there doing nefarious deeds. He had barely escaped with his life, and he had barely escaped doing jail time. Now that Norman had given him another shot at joining the label, he was deeply indebted to Mr. Preston. Because Justine's mother had been in the hospital for like a week.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you know how private Justine is. She's a reporter, but she private. Imagine that.
Yeah, okay, well, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I wrote this as a duet, though.
There are how many guys on this label that would jump at the chance of collabing with you, CeeCee?
Me? Like who?
You serious, right? Like that kid Dwight from Love Notes? And how about Tommy or Clyde from Midnight Velvet?
Well, Tommy's voice is too high. It would not fit the key that I wrote this in.
But Clyde's voice is almost like mine. In fact, people say we sound alike, like they used to say about David Ruffin and Bobby Womack.
Yeah, well, I'll ask Clyde. I'm not sure he'll have the time, but I'll ask.
I'm so sorry, C-Note. You know I would do it if I could, though.
Yeah, I know.
Afterwards, she left the room. Nell stayed at the studio another 4 hours before heading home. When he reached the house, it was quiet. He headed upstairs and called out to his wife. Justine! 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 He headed to the master bedroom
And that's when he heard the shower running. He hurried back down the stairs when he heard the doorbell. He opened the door, figuring that Vernon from Midnight Velvet was outside. He had been talking to Vernon about a guest role on the sitcom he produced, but it was not Vernon. The visitor was the last person he expected to see.
Barely?
He said, calling the man by his last name. The man spread his arms and said,
The one and only. You didn't think I was going anywhere just because you retired from selling crack now, did you? Listen.
He held up his hand, but the man interrupted him and said,
No, you listen. I think you owe me for the time when you were about to do time for a weapons charge. That gun was not mine and you know it. But I got you out of it. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, after you set me up. You are the dirtiest cop on the force over there in D.C. You know that? Well, I wouldn't be able to afford my lifestyle if I wasn't.
The officer seemed quite proud of his behavior.
What you want, man? What you want? 20 grand by Friday. Are you kidding? What? I can't just pony up 20 grand off to him like that. And I don't owe you nothing anyway.
Bailey laughed, rolling a toothpick around in his mouth.
Look here. You're a smart kid, Nelson Baines. I know you got some reserves from the time in the game across the Potomac. The thing is, you didn't think that body of water was going to stop my travel now, did you? Like I told you back then, before you called yourself disappearing. You owe me. Can I think about it?
Bailey looked him over before saying,
Sure. I'm not going anywhere.
With that, he left. Bailey was not in uniform, and neither was he driving a police cruiser. Bailey knew where he could find Nelson, knew he had the upper hand. Nell slammed the door, uttered an expletive, and sunk down on the sofa, placing his hands over his face. Little did he know, Justine was standing at the top of the stairs, listening to the entire conversation. Chapter 3. Nokie wondered why Mackel, her husband, had not made it home yet. She was dressed in her dark blue evening gown, pearls around her neck, and matching silk pumps. Her hair was pulled into a roll, and a diamond earrings dangled from her ears. She grabbed a glass of wine and sipped it, sitting at the large dining room table. His mother was watching their 3 young sons, and they were going out tonight. She called his mobile phone, but he did not pick up. She did not know what was going on. He'd already cheated on her a couple of times. She looked at the telephone. It refused to ring. She stood, resigning herself to the fact that he was probably out with someone else. She had had enough of him. They lived in a 6-bedroom, 4-bathroom house that was 10,000 square feet. They had money and she never had to work. Mackel took care of everything. She was about to head upstairs when she heard a firm knock at the door. She headed to the front door, figuring it was Mackel. She wondered why he did not use his key. She snatched open the door and said, "What? Where's your..." She stopped cold. There were 3 men standing at the door. One was holding up a warrant.
Mrs. Booth.
Yeah? What's going on?
We're with the FBI. We have a warrant to search the premises.
For what? What? Soon, a flood of federal agents were making their way into the home. What's going on? Can somebody tell me what's going on? What is going on? Can somebody please
tell me what's going on?" she asked, watching them crawling all over the place. They were tearing up furniture, going through cabinets, and some of them were making their way up the stairs. "Hey, y'all cannot be coming in here," she heard behind the ones who were headed upstairs, but one of the agents stopped her, told her she would have to remain downstairs where he could see her. "What? I have children."
Are they here, ma'am?
No, they're with my mother-in-law, but what are y'all doing?" She watched in horror as agents were making their way downstairs with computers, boxes, and two of them were even carrying a small file cabinet down the stairs. They broke into the safe in the closet of the master bedroom and were bagging evidence. Nokie knew Michael was into illegal activities, but how did they find out?
Ma'am, you will have to leave the premises.
One of the agents told her. "Why? I live here. This is my house."
Do you have any pay stubs or any other proof that you are able to afford this house?
"No, but do you mind if I at least get my children's clothing and some of my own clothes?"
If you can prove that you paid for your possessions with legal means and not ill-gotten gains.
What does that mean? What does that mean? You mean to tell me that you're just going to put me out of my own house? She was frantic at this point, and she felt her heart beating very fast. They lived in an upscale neighborhood in Potomac, not far from where Norman Preston lived. She wondered if she could make it to his house. So she headed to her BMW, but one of the agents told her she would not be allowed to drive that car unless she could prove she paid for it with legal means. So she was stuck, didn't know what to do. There she was, on the quiet street in the middle of February. Some of the windows of the neighbors' homes were dark. Nobody was in sight. Someone had to see what was going on. The next thing she knew, police tape was wrapped around the house and she was locked out of her own home. She did not know how long it took her to make it to the payphone, but once she did, she called Michael's mother, Colette. "Baby, Michael is locked up. He called me an hour ago. No. I tried to call, but there was no answer." Oh, no. This cannot be happening. "Miss Liz, can you come and pick me up?" Nokie had no other recourse. "The boys are sleeping. I can call you a cab and have them come and get you, okay?" Nokie did not fall apart until she entered Elizabeth's house. Her mother-in-law hugged her. I don't know what happened, Miss Liz. I don't know what happened. I know. I don't know what happened. I know. They just showed up. They just showed up all of a sudden, and I was just like, I know. Just calm down for a minute while we put our heads together. Have a seat. Sit down. Once they were seated, the older woman said, "Now, they have been watching Mac for a while now. I tried to tell him to be careful. He was doing too much spending on elaborate things and bringing too much attention to himself." "Oh, gosh. You knew?" Elizabeth nodded affirmatively and added, "You are lucky to have gotten away without handcuffs, and the kids are lucky because your children need you more now than ever." "I know, but I did not do anything to be locked up for." "I know, but you got to remember how the feds are. This is the feds you're dealing with. What am I going to do? 1 minute, Can I please stay here until I can figure out? They even took my car. I don't have anything for the kids. I don't have any of the kids' clothes or any clothes for myself or anything." "Well, they do have a few outfits here they can still wear. But we'll head over to Marshall's tomorrow and pick you up a few things." Nokie did not want to shop at Marshall's. She usually wore the best.
She closed her eyes and couldn't bear the thought that all of her designer dresses, shoes, and purses could be auctioned off. Mac Hill had spoiled her. Then she thought about CeeCee and Nell. They seemed to be having the times of their lives. Chapter 4.
Now that I know our love is faded, all I have for you is now deflated. I would go my way and you would go yours. Cut my lost flesh, you out of my pores. One more time, one more time, one more time, one more time. Now we're not together, now we're not together.
That was One More Time by Cartier and Preston from 1982, baby. 1982. Jenna boasted. That was when she went solo with her husband Johnny's label, right? Ralph asked. Yeah, you know what? Wonder what's going on with Hutchinson Sounds now. You know, he broke away from Norman Preston and opened up his own label. But you know what, Ralph? I have not heard of any artists making any new music with them. It's been a minute. Yeah, and I wonder what happened to Cartier. What happened to her? That was a sexy, ooh. Cartier belonged to the group First Delegation before she went solo and left Preston Records. Norman Preston was Cartier's uncle, actually. You're right, Ralph. You know what? It's like she fell off the face of the earth. I have not heard anything from her. All of her sisters are out there doing their thing. Even that youngest one. What's her name? Darcel. Especially that. Ooh, that girl. I tell you. Yeah, yeah. You know what? Like Darcel is taking off like a rocket though, for real. Oh, wait a minute. Did you hear, Ralph? What? Did you hear? Did you hear? Did you hear? What? Okay, let me make sure I got the story straight here. The feds raided Nokie's house last night, locked up her husband. He was into something illegal, allegedly. Oh, yeah. I got a little bits and pieces of that this morning. Now, I wonder what in the who knows what is going on with that, because you know what? I don't know. I've been hearing some stories, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what? I wonder if she called her former group members from Trilogy. Yeah, you know CeeCee got a good heart, but who knows if she would want to help her out after what she did to her? Ooh. And that ain't been that long ago either. Yeah, I'm with you on that, Jenna. I would stay as far away from her as I possibly could if I was CeeCee. Yeah, But reports say that the feds showed up around 9 last night with a warrant, and it's believed that Mac Hill's illegal activities not only includes drugs, but prostitution, maybe even sex trafficking, allegedly. You know what? That don't even surprise me, because he always struck me as a pimp style type of dude. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but would Nokie know any of this? She should. What woman doesn't know what her man is doing? I mean, well, listen to this. She would make sure she knew if he was out there dogging with other women. But when it comes to illegal activities, some of these chicks are just dumb as they can be. Or they act dumb. You know your man ain't working a 9 to 5, but you walking around in Gucci, Vera Wang. Come on now. Come on now. Okay now. You all are listening to PGC as the sound of DC rolls in the nation's capital. Here we go with Southern Highways by Darcel Devereaux.
The sun of the morning, the air is now warming, the trees are bright and green, the birds are singing. Our meadows are leaning and greeting us with glee. Where can you find relentless blue skies without the southern ties? Rolling the roads of the southern highways, beautiful all year, especially nowadays. Rolling the roads of the southern highways, beautiful all year, especially nowadays. Rolling the roads of the southern highways, beautiful all year, especially nowadays. Rolling the roads of the southern highways,